For physical correction and whole body breathing, you will need to activate all 7 diaphragms. The 7 diaphragms are the soles of your foot, your pelvic floor diaphragm or your pelvic diaphragm, your main respiratory diaphragm, your thoracic inlet diaphragm, a jaw diaphragm, a main skull diaphragm, and a scalp diaphragm. When these diaphragms are properly inflated and evenly inflated, that looks like proper structure. How do we get access to all of the diaphragms? Well, first we begin with our main respiratory diaphragm, and we are going to connect everything together by understanding and feeling the fascia of the body. What's really important in whole body breathing is, on top of the theory, it has to be a living experience for yourself. So let's begin with feeling in your chest. Get a feel for the expansion on the inhale. What you want to feel for is actual physical sensation. Feel your ribs moving. Feel any tightness that you can on the inhale. Now what I want you to do is to turn your palms up and then rest them on your thighs. And with your palms up, close your eyes and pay attention to where the most expansion is happening in your torso. Now what I want you to do is to turn your palms facing down, put them back on your thighs, close your eyes, and pay attention to where the expansion is happening in your torso. Pause the video and flip back and forth a few times. First, breathing with your palms up, then with your palms down, and see if there is a difference where in your torso the majority of the expansion begins to happen. If you notice something, then I want you to confirm with other people. This is the science of whole body breathing, in that I'm not going to try and lead you to a conclusion. We're going to try things and we're going to experiment and we're going to see actually how does the body work, how does the breath work, what is the structure of the body. The next thing I want you to try is feeling the expansion in your torso on the inhale. I want you to close your fists and then breathe in with your fists closed. You can even take deep breaths, and you can give a good squeeze into your fists. And then on the inhale that you choose, I want you to let go of your fists and breathe in and see if there's a difference. Pause the video and practice that a few times. The breath doesn't only happen in the main respiratory diaphragm and the torso. Through the fascial network, through the connective tissue, it goes down all the way to the tips of your hands, all the way to the bottoms of your foot, and indeed into your head. The expansive force wants to expand you entirely. All of your 7 diaphragms want to expand. We need to build up the proper lines of fascia tensegrity in order to allow for this to happen. And simultaneously, we need to release the improper tension patterns so that the diaphragms can expand. One proper line of respiration is from the psoas connecting to the diaphragm. There is a direct connection from your psoas muscle to the diaphragm, and we want to confirm that connection. The way we do this is a whole body breathing exercise called the psoas sit-up. What I want you to do is to get onto your back, laying down, and then lift your legs up 90 degrees. With your legs up 90 degrees, I want you to let them begin to fall down in a controlled fall. And then breathe in strongly. And what you should feel is that every time that you inhale, your legs stop from moving down. They either get pulled back up or they at least stop in their descent. You can also do this from the sit-up position, which is why the original exercise is called the whole body breathing psoas sit-up, whereby you get yourself into approximately a 45-degree angle in a sit-up position, and you allow yourself to fall back. And as you fall back, you inhale, and with every inhale, you should find yourself getting pulled back into the sit-up position, or at least that your descent is being stopped. This is because the psoas muscle runs from your inner thigh to your lower back and your diaphragm. So on every inhale, it is producing a tug, and it is part of the inhale. The next exercise that I want you to try is the whole body breathing head rotations. This is the beginning of whole body breathing cranial osteopathy, which you'll be manipulating the skull bones using the breath. What I want you to do is to let your body go loose and relaxed forward. And what you will notice is that on every inhale, your spine naturally goes into extension. Your spine naturally bends backwards every time that you breathe in. Okay. Now what I want you to do is to let your head hang forward as well. And then notice that on every single inhale, there is a slight backwards pull, pulling your head back. And if you reach back around, you can feel a nuchal ligament, and you can feel the sternocleidomastoid. The sternocleidomastoid goes from just behind your ear to your sternum. These accessory muscles of breathing in your neck, they help open up the rib cage and the clavicle on the inhale, and they have a reciprocal tug on the back of the head, which will pull the head back like so. And you want to feel for that. Feel behind your ears and around the back of the head, and see if on the inhale you notice any pull, any sort of tug. Accessory muscles of breathing have a reciprocal tugging force on the bones of the skull. And when you look at craniosacral thought, or you look at the way the skull bones are arranged, they seem to be arranged to allow for a motion, which is exactly the type of motion that would be produced by accessory muscles of breathing on an inhale. All 7 diaphragms are connected by these fascial lines. We have a whole body breathing soft inner line and a whole body breathing hard outer line. We want to get these lines back into their proper tensegrity, back to their proper strength and connection levels, because when we do so, we'll be able to produce a natural craniosacral session or a natural cranial osteopathy session on our skull with every single inhale, opening up the skull, opening up the rib cage, opening up the hips, and correcting issues throughout the body. You are a fluid fascial tensegrity structure. The proper fascial tensegrity consists of these 7 diaphragms plus the proper lines of respiration and movement between them. Whole body breathing will bring you into alignment using deep awareness of these postural and breathing systems, which are really the same system.